that are invisible are filled by Brahman. All those that are visible are also fully permeated by Brahman. The whole universe has come out of the whole Brahman. Brahman is still full, although the whole universe has come out of it. Om, peace, peace, peace. Now we are reading the chapter 2 today. We start there. The first chapter we heard that we need to do meditation and meditate on the truth which is everywhere. Given the example as in the firewood there is a fire, as in the sesame seed there is the sesame oil which is not visible outside. As example, another example given, Dodhini Vusarpi, in the milk. If you buttermilk, the milk is everywhere spread, and you can, by churning it, butter can come out, but it is not seen. So that Brahman, Atman is everywhere, and we have to meditate on that. Dhyano nirmathanena means by meditation we have to ignite that fire, as is the fire in the wood is ignited by rubbing two pieces of wood in the early days, rubbing in a way that the fire which is hidden comes up. So by the Om mantra, sitting and thinking of that Atman, that the body may be the lower firewood and mind should be the upper firewood with the mantra. When you rub like that, the fire inside, the consciousness inside will be just flared up. Similarly, the Brahman will be coming up. So that meditation we have to do. Like as we find Tileshu Tailam, as in the sesame seed, the oil is there. Dodini Vasarpi, as in the curd there is the butter. Sotasarani Shucha Agni, like that of Oronishu, the firewood, piece of firewood, there is the fire inside. Similarly, also Atma, this self, the big self, Grichate, it can be experienced, it can be perceived. Joyenam, Sarvabhyapinam, that one which permeates everywhere, like a kshire in milk, that this butter, Atma, Atma Vidya Tapomulam, rooted in the self-knowledge and concentration. Therefore, that Atma, that self, is to be found out by tapasa, by concentration, by meditation, and they reach the conclusion which the Vedas declare. Vedas declare that there is only one truth, Satchidananda truth, and that is permeated everywhere. We cannot see it as we don't see the fire in the wood. These are the gross example given. Now, before going to this type of big, great spiritual practice, one should prepare his mind. And the preparation of the mind is very important. That I say that you have to pray to the divine. Here we find a very beautiful blending of Advaitic thought with bhakti. Many people think that I am Atman, I am Brahman. It means that there is no position of praying to God or purifying our mind. So, this is a big necessity in our life to add that into life practice. So, the very second chapter starts with this very fast the answer that Junjanaha Prathamam Manastu Tattayo. Junjanaha Prathamam, the mind is to be joined, harnessing. Prathamam, harnessing the mind and the Sobita Dhiya. In the Sobita means the sun, effulgent sun. Dhiya means by intellect. By intellect, keeping the mind and the senses focused on the sun. There's a beautiful Sun does not mean the physical sun. Sun means the awareness, the consciousness in the sun. That's why they think sun god. Sun god does mean there is some conscious entity in the sun, the ruling, the controlling the sun. That is the sun god. Sun god means who has control over the sun. And that means there is a conscious entity. And that because the sun plays a great role in our life, whenever we see anything, it is we know our life is sustained by sun. Everyday life, we are made of sun. Our body is made of sun, isn't it? All the elements of the body is come out of the sun to the earth, to five element, etc. So it says first, harnessing the mind and the senses with a view to realize the truth, and then having found out the light of the fire, the evolving soul brought itself out of the earth. These are all significant words that these mantras are taken bodily with a slight variation here and there from the Sanghita portion of the Vedas. Vedas have two parts now. One is called the Karma Kando, Jnana Kando. Karma Kanda means where your rituals and do's and don'ts, and then another is the Brahman, Atman talk about that. That is the Upanishad part, two part. The Samhita part is the first one, and in that Samhita portion, there are some verses have been taken here and there, and they are cited as Brahmanas and interpreted in relation to their application of the liturgy. Liturgy, how to perform the home of fire, how to put the firewood, how to put oblation, what mantra you have to chant. These are all liturgic. The description is there. The Upanishad, however, makes use of them as relating to the practice of yoga. So he's trying, now we are getting into the practice, and one stroke I am Brahman, to rub that, becomes little high philosophy. So to make the mind ready for that type of understanding, once we practice this yoga, then is concentrating the senses and the mind gradually into the focus of that light, external light, and imagining that light to be internalizing in our life. So, and then go to the light of the light to light of the light. We use chant every time in the evening, Ramakrishna, light of the light, who is in the cave of our heart. No, so this idea has been brought it here to help individual soul like us to move towards the Brahman consciousness by adapting some external symbol, that is the sun. You know, all of you very much aware of the Gayatri mantra. Gayatri. Gayatri means Gayan Trayati iti. If you may repeat that again and again, and with thinking, it will release you from bondage. How? You think of the sun, but that sun which covers the entire universe, earth, planet, this, that, and all pervaded light. And I try to meditate on that. And oh Lord, help me. Second word, oh Lord, help me to meditate. Help me in this process of identifying with you. So two parts are there. One, an external object, which is close to the light eternal, where there is no darkness, no ignorance. Taking that as the substance and then concentrating the focus which was outside, withdrawing that mind into inwardly, not only the senses and the mind together. What do we do when we close our eyes? We try to shut down, not to see outside. But our mind runs here and there. So the control of the mind and the senses together, drawn outside to inside. So that is the process. Here it is said that yoga, for practicing yoga, and in its application to the knowledge of Brahman. These mantras are often taken as authority to show that meditation and self-culture are as old as in the Vedic times. No? This meditation is yoga. Meditation falls in the chapter of yoga. No? Do you know the two distinction? What is meditation and what is Vedantic analysis? Vedanta analysis, those who do, they don't meditate. Meditation means there is an object and you are the meditator. Duality comes. But really, Vedanta is dependent Sravana, Manana, Nididhasana. First, finish. You listen that I am Atman, I am not the body, I am not the body, with eyes open day and night, analyze, 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 discard, 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 and when perfectly you can discard them, then revelation will happen. You don't need to meditate on something. But this is a yoga practice which is telling, yes, you want to reach that goal, but you cannot do in one stroke. We are unable, we are not capable of doing that. Therefore, the Upanishad is helping us to think in this way that you try to focus first outside, see the beautiful sun, rising sun, removing all darkness of the night. No, it's very symbolic. In that way, our heart, which is full of darkness, sun is rising here, no, and it's effulgent and is removing all darkness by my heart. And thinking of that, you are meditating. Thinking means you are meditating. This is called the process of dhyana yoga. So object is there, subject-object duality is there. And that ultimate goal is that when total absorption will come in that inner light and inner light and inner light, and then you forget your identity totally, and then you are become that. So here, this is as ancient as in the Vedic times. The present mantra alludes to the preliminary steps in the process of spiritual practice. So this practice, what is giving, as if a small child, the Upanishad Rishi is holding the hand and taking them step by step to the higher and higher and higher goal. And those who are matured boys, they can jump into the highest non-dual experience. No, but normally we ordinary people, because we live in duality, how much we talk about that, our hunger, our thirst, our anger, our sleep, our restlessness, all these are bothering us. In that state, these are preliminaries. Practice can be also mentioned. So what is it? Harnessing the mind and the senses means the preliminary process of attaining purity of mind. The Upanishad says you harness your mind and the senses towards that truth. No? What does it mean? That means distracted sense organs are taking you outside and destroying the peace within. So it means that preliminary process, you take some preliminary process of attaining the purity. Purity of the mind means mind does not go anywhere but God. Pure mind means a very simple definition. What is pure? Mind is pure means mind does not go to any other place but to God. That is the pure mind, purest mind. Our mind goes in all the objects. No, Ramakrishna gave the example. There are flies and what is called the bees. Yeah? Flies can sit sometimes in nice, beautiful, fragrant honey, sweet, rasgulla, ice cream, everywhere. But it can go on, so sit, the fly can sit on the filthy areas, no? Sometimes this, sometimes that, sometimes this, sometimes that. But bees will never sit on the, excepting the flowers or where there is honey only. So there is a prayer that I shall be like a honey, a bees, not like a fly. Because my mind should not go to any other thing. I will be practicing myself in that way. So that's a prayer. So he says that the purity of the mind will come by this preliminary process and a life of self-control that will come in accordance with the rules of righteousness. And light of fire means fire and the light are both symbolic. Fire refers to the ordinary waking intellect, consciousness of external objects, and light refers to the pure consciousness. This Sanskrit word is dividing the meaning of this word. Which is Pratham Manastuyam Sobitadhya Agner Jyotir. Agner Jyoti. Agni means fire, Jyoti means light. What is the difference between Agni and Jyoti? Why they are talking two? Because you look at the sun, there are two aspects. One is fire and one is the light. So he says that the fire and light are both symbolic. They're symbolizing the truth. What? Fire is referring to ordinary waking experience or all the day-to-day experience as we see. And other was intellect is the talking about the external objects, and light refers to the pure consciousness. Light removes all darkness. That means all that which is non-eternal, that will be reflected by that consciousness. So we see the entire world by the heat of that fire part, and our pure consciousness enlightens that experience. I see you. This is the part of the fire, and the consciousness behind which allows me to feel your presence, that is called the pure consciousness. Consciousness can be divided in two ways: our waking consciousness, our dream consciousness, and the consciousness of the self. To you, you are hearing me. This is the relative consciousness in the transactional world. This is meant here, the example light and fire. Here the fire indicates that. And when you are indicating at the light, light is indicating that eternal light. To find out light of fire is to understand that pure consciousness is separate from the ordinary consciousness of the intelligent consciousness. That is the portion which is called the heat or fire. Heat or fire. Heat is very difficult to perceive unless you go very close. See, light you can see from here. We all see the light bulbs are there. But there is heat also, no? But to feel that heat, you have to go very close. You can touch your finger on the bulb, then you can feel, oh, it is hot. Huh? But here also heat, but I don't perceive it. That heat is here also. In a low degree, such a low degree, I don't have any perception of that. Here is also consciousness. I'm seeing you, there is the consciousness. God, divine, absolute. But I cannot understand that. To know that, you have to go very close to the truth that is called the consciousness, pure consciousness. So it is same thing, pure consciousness and expanded consciousness. This light is allowing us to see the entire world, no? Without light, we cannot see it. But to feel that heat or the fire, you have to go close. That is to withdraw from here. If I stand here and want to feel the heat, it will not happen. I'll have to renounce, move towards. How will you renounce? Mentally. Mentally, that's why meditation process is shutting down our eyes, shutting down our hearing, shutting down our external awareness of the world. We try to do that. Some people put earplug to stop the noise outside. Putting the eyes closed, we try that. Try to forget the entire outside world. And it's withdrawing from the outer consciousness, pulling them inward. And as much we succeed. And that's a good meditation. Means you have succeeded a little bit. That day you say, oh, I have a very good meditation. Other day you say, oh, I sat for 1 hour, but nothing happened. Because my mind was not going back to the heat. Mind was going back to the world which I saw with eyes open, with eyes closed. I'm seeing those things. You are going to Boston, you are going to San Francisco, you are going to here and there and roaming around with friends and this and that. That means though physically you are not seeing through the eyes, mind is taking you to all these places that you are not going to the pure consciousness. So this is very good idea is given here. Light of the fire. This part of the mantra alludes the capacity to discriminate between the truth and untruth. This universe, what I am seeing, is a reflected consciousness, but that is the consciousness in pure consciousness. So whatever I am seeing, this is not permanent. It is not eternal. This first of the 4 qualifications demanded of the spiritual aspirant according to Advaita system. This mantra, the capacity of discrimination. So this helps us to discriminate. I am seeing the light, seeing the universe with a reflected light, but that light which is heat itself also, this is another quality of heat. That heat cannot be perceived unless it is withdrawn and focused on that. That's a process of meditation. And here, if the Sobita means the sun. No? The word Sobita ordinarily means one who brings forth, inspires, and usually taken as a synonym of sun normally. Sobita means Ajay, Bhuvassa Tat Sobitur Varenyam. Sobitu means Sobita. Sobita, that Baronio, that adorable light and effulgence. So you can that Sobita that is used in this mantra is a synonym of sun. Normally it is used hereby symbolically to denote Antarjami or the ultimate principle, conceived intellectually as the source of creation and as working constantly and eternally in the hearts of all beings to rise them higher and higher in level and thereby causing the process of evolution from behind the scene. So what he's saying, the evolved Sobita is helping, the sun is helping to rise the soul from one level to the other level of consciousness. So it is actually making this evolve, it is evolution in the soul of person. Individual soul like us, by thinking of that light and try to feel the heat of it, and with the joy of it, it is a slowly a process of raising the consciousness into inner time. So this is the, let me see another explanation, or this easier explanation maybe. Swami Lokeshwarananda, he says that this is a spiritual seeker's prayer to the sun, that the sun may kindly direct his mind and other faculties to the cosmic self. And cosmic self means the pure consciousness. Normally, they are occupied with external objects. Our mind and the senses, they are occupied with the external objects. The prayer is that they may be turned inward. We are praying here so that it can come back. When you seek the truth, you should first and foremost pray that the sun may direct your mind and intellectual powers to the cosmic self. Because from very ancient time, the sun is worshipped because sun god. Considered sun god because it removes all the darkness. People in early days, there was no electricity. There was very day when the evening comes, very difficult. Then came lamp. Then came some type of to see something, candle, this, that. Evolution happened. So sun was a great supporter of our consciousness. So that's why sun was worshipped as God. The sun is removing the total darkness. So let our darkness of the heart, ignorance of our mind be removed by this light of the sun. That's why the sun may be guided. You are praying to the sun for your mind and intellectual power so that they help us to move towards the cosmic self. You should also pray that it may transfer all the illuminating power of fire to the sense organs in your body so that your body may be fit to realize the self. He is explaining from another aspect. Now comes the question, what practice do we adopt? What methods should we use to realize the self? Here the Upanishad suggests that first of all, we pray. Why should we pray? If I am a non-dualist, if I do not recognize that there is a God outside myself, to whom am I going to pray? You may put a question that I am a non-dualist, I don't believe in duality. So for whom to pray? There is nobody else other than me. So and there is now nobody to pray. And you are suggesting to pray to Sun God. Why are you praying that? The scripture says that as long as you feel you are separate from this universe, that you have a body, that you are a certain individual different from others, then you have to pray. Yeah, here is the question. How much you say, I don't believe in God, duality. Are you talking that who is talking? Duality or the non-dual is talking? Non-dual cannot talk. So when you are saying that you are dual, you are saying anything, I am hungry, who is saying? Duality or non-duality? So if you say I am non-dual, okay, you are non-dual, But so long you are in the realm of this Maya, you are playing the role of duality. So you know you are separate from, I am separate from the table, I am separate from the light. My separate existence is there. So you cannot be non-dual exactly. It will take time to reach that consciousness. But we can intellectually try to understand, that's the one thing. But yeah, you cannot say you will not pray. Why don't you pray? Why do you eat? You are non-dual, then why do you eat? Why do you drink? Why do you sleep? Why do you interact with people if you are non-dual? Non-dual means only one. There is no two. Who will interact with whom? You are doing all these things. Only for the question when prayer comes, oh, why shall I pray? I am non-dual. So he's arguing against that. But you cannot say you are because you are non-dual, so you are not to pray. That is not the right thing. You cannot say that. Because you are in the duality. So prayer is a must. Even you are following the path of your prayer may be different. As a personal God prayer is one type, impersonal God prayer is also another type. Dhiyo yo na prachodaya. You say, oh Lord, oh divine entity. You can say divine entity. But you are saying, lead me to the path of that knowledge and wisdom. This is why we find that even Shankaracharya wrote prayers and hymns. Shankaracharya wrote. Today we are reading Nityananda Kari, Bara Bhaya Kari, Saundarya Ratna Kari. We are talking all this is a prayer. Who composed it? Shankaracharya. For Mother Annapurna, he is a non-dual parik. Excellent, no? But he can practice this non-dual. At the same time, he can pray. But not you. So you should have to do pray for your emancipation. It will be gradual process to lift you. This chapter starts with a prayer to Sobhita, the sun god. Who do you pray to? Who do we pray? Through Sobhita? It is natural to think of the sun as a symbol of the supreme deity, the creator of the world, because it is true that the earth has come out of the sun. So it is very easy to understand sun is the root. So if we think of the sun, the light, we go back to our root, our fundamental reality, Satchidananda reality. Because it is so great, the sun, so vast, so powerful, and it is also the source of our light. That's why sun plays so much big role in our life. You see, where there is sun is less, people are more psychotic patients there. Psychologically, they get really. You go to the land of Eskimo or some other areas, there, because of the light being very rare, people really cannot take that. That makes their mind very affected. It is a study. So without the sun, things cannot grow or live at all. It is this world, however, that attracts us. So we ask, our attention is going to the world, no? We see this universe of name and form, its beauty and other things. But it is all sun. Just while I was coming, I saw one plane is flying, and the falling sun is illuminating on the plane. It is looking so beautiful, huh? As if it is shining its own glory. No, it is the reflected light of the sun. Sun illumines even which is so not so good to see, but it becomes shining. No, so sun of knowledge when it comes, it shines to the whole body, mind, emotion, everything will be reflected in the personality. That's why they become so supportive of everyone's spiritual growth and development, and they bring peace in the heart of others because their light of the cosmic consciousness shines through their whole personality. So it is this world, however, that attracts us. So we ask for Subhita's help, San's help, to enable us to withdraw from this world. That means I am attracted to this experience of the outside, which is so beautiful. But I want to turn back inside the source, which is the sun. Oh sun, then help me, so that my eyes are turned. What is it? There is a verse. Paraji Khani Bhatrinat Swayambhu. God has created this beautiful universe and make our senses outside to see the beauty. His beauty, no? But we don't see him, but we only appreciate the beauty. And therefore we are bound to see the outside world. Tasmat parang pashyati, no antaratma. We don't see what is inside our heart, that luminous, self-luminous, Satchidananda self. We don't look at that. Therefore, but some intelligent people, they turn their attention to the inward and they get illuminated. So, this Subhita helps us to enable us to withdraw from this world, and it brings us our awareness. I want to renounce, I want to go to the source of the world, which is Brahman. Please see that these sense organs do not draw me to the physical world. Please unite my mind, my intellect, and all other organs with the knowledge of the Brahman. So it is a prayer, no? We pray to Ramakrishna, oh Ramakrishna, give this, give that. Some people will say, it's a dualistic worship, I don't like. But Vedantic worship, you can say, oh sun, that is impersonal. As you are light, as your light reflects on the objective universe, becomes so beautiful, I get charmed to draw that way. Give me the power of my senses and my mind so that it turns towards the source of this, which is making this so beautiful. What is the source of that? Jyoti Jyoti. In the evening prayer, we for Ramakrishna we chant Jyoti Jyoti Ujala Hridi Kandara. Jyoti, Jyoti means light of the light. We are overwhelmed with the light which shines in the earth. And you are the light of the light. Therefore, Ujala means you just shine forth in our cave of the heart, which is all dark now. You just illumine me. That means this is the light focused on every object and making my attention go to find the joy in outside. Now, oh Shobita, oh Sun God, please help me to turn it towards inside so that I can see inside. If we want to meditate successfully with any degree of concentration, then we have to withdraw our mind and all our organs from the external world. Our mind and our sense organs sometimes work in opposite direction. One part of our self may pull it in one way, another part is another way. If the mind and the sense organs are very much disturbed, always moving here and there, we cannot meditate. That we know, that is our review. Mind goes in one direction, senses go in another direction. That mind cannot meditate. Because when we are sitting for meditation, we try to bring the mind into the focus. But mind, the senses are stopped, but the mind moves here and there. Somehow we fail to meditate. But when senses are also stopped, not going outside, in drawn, and the mind also comes back here, then becomes meditation successful. So we pray that they work together so that we may attain supreme knowledge. The light of the revealing power is the fire in the fire. Agner Jyoti means the Jyoti that belongs to Agni. Agni Jyoti is light and fire. All our sense organs, our eyes, ear, nose, etc., they reveal. No? What is the purpose of the eyes? Eyes reveal some gross object to see. Ear reveals some sound, what you are saying, to understand. The tongue reveals the sweetness or the bitterness of the food we eat, what is tasteful or distasteful. Our nose, it helps to smell, have a fragrant flower or a bad smell. This nose is to recognize. So they recognize everything, their cognitive powers. So these are all, they reveal the object or external object. Now that is their function. If there is an object before me, I can see it with help of my eyes. Upanishad describes that the sense organs as being presided over by a deity. One deity presiding over the eyes, another deity over the ear, etc. Agni, fire, is the presiding deity of the eyes. But here Agni stands for all deities behind the senses. He is saying that Agni has mentioned only fire. Fire and eye has the connection. Light and eye has the connection. So mentioning this, the Upanishad is also mentioning sound and your ear, the fragrance and your nose, the taste of the material and your tongue. They are all related together. So this is together. So is the, and Prithvi is this earth, which is made up of the elements, and the human body is the highest form of the elements. The prayer is that the body with all its organs may be directed towards the attainment of supreme knowledge. The prayer may be fulfilled if the organs reveal the truth in the manner they are intended. We can realize the truth when really the eyes actually can illumine that I am seeing the divine here. That will happen after long practice. So, what this first verse says, that you, if we can concentrate on this idea that my senses are there, it is revealing the external object, but there is a consciousness behind that which reveals that awareness. I am seeing you, this is an experience. But what is that consciousness which is allowing me to have this experience? So this is the goal. So by praying to the higher entity, not the material sun, but the sun god, meaning where there is the light and heat. And that light and heat which illumines all the sensate universe, which makes us drawn towards the world, attracted towards the world. If we go to the root, then the source we go, then our all desires will be fulfilled. That's why it is said, reaching that reality, you fulfill your all desires. All desires are fulfilled. You don't need anything of the world to satisfy you. So this is the prayer part of the first verse. We'll read the second verse. We have time. Yuktena manasa vayam devasya suvitu sarve suvargayaya shaktya yuktena manasa. Vayam means we, when we are connected with the manas, mind, with the mind focused on the cosmic self, devasya suvita, saved by the grace of the effulgent sun God. So it cannot, we connected with our mind, focused on the cosmic self. I try, but I cannot do that. Therefore, we have to say, oh Lord, please help me. So, Devasa Sobitu saved by the grace of the effulgent sun, Subargaya, on the meditation and like activities to lead to the truth. Satya, self-concentrated to the best of our. So, by grace of the shining God, we are saying, I will try to do that, but I am helpless. Oh, Sun God, help me, so that I can focus. My mind can go to the cosmic self which is within, and we shall meditate and practice similar activities which lead to union with cosmic self. We shall concentrate on this as best as we can. Here it says, with our mind's control, so as to manifest the self-luminous, immanent soul, we shall vigorously endeavor for the attainment of the supreme bliss. It is a resolution we are taking. Juktena manasa, with this controlled mind, jukta means control, united mind, with the mind, juktena manasa, so as to manifest Why it is concentrated mind? To manifest its self-luminous immanent soul, what is within, supreme self, which is within. We shall try Suvargaya Shaktya. Shaktya means all with all my might and strength. I shall vigorously try to attain this supreme bliss with my own effort. But I cannot do that. You please help me. It's a bit jnana and bhakti mixed together to make our life more meaningful. Yeah, really, those who do practice, they understand how much you try, but in result depends on the grace of God. You can try your best. Sometimes you'll find that I'm exhausted now. That's the time comes when we have to say, "Oh Lord, let come to help me." Every time Ramakrishna said, "No, oh Mother, I throw myself at your feet. Uh, I do not want this. So this is the surrender, surrender, surrender. But surrender not like escapist, not doing himself or herself anything, and surrender, oh Lord, you do whatever you like. Eh? That is an escapism. But here is the emphasis that I will put my most effort, we shall vigorously endeavor for the attainment of the supreme bliss. I will try this. So, this mantra speaks of the necessity for constant and vigorous practice. That's the point. Spiritual life should be centered around sincere, vigorous practice. And life should not be loosely spent to understand this highest truth. It will be superficial talk. Talk. We are talking today that you GTP, you can just ask anything. In split second it is doing. What the more of intellectual people will do? My God, if you tell him to write something, he writes for you. And whole article is written within split second. You cannot even type that fast. So what is the use of the intellect? That's why all the scriptures say intellect cannot take you to the truth. Yeah, here comes the intellect is good. It clears our vision. The clouded mind gets cleared. What is right, what is wrong. But we have to understand it cannot show us. Ramakrishna said, the jnana is like it's good, but it can come in. The house has two departments. One is for the up to the living room, yeah, but cannot take you to the inner courtyard. Bhakti is inner courtyard. Bhakti takes us, love, prayer, they take us into the inner courtyard of the heart. All experiences come in the heart, no? All in understanding comes here. I understood this means I am understanding here. But when I feel something, it is all here. So spiritual realization, understanding is important, but we have to go beyond that. So here, my effort, very important point, that we should have to hammer. I read Brahmananda Maharaj's Eternal Companion, Supreme Knowledge book. Always see how much emphasis is given. We are reading now Swami Shivananda Maharaj's words. What an inspiration. And do this. Pray. Days are numbered, days are going away, this and that. As if they are really feeling so much. We don't feel so much. Days are going away. Days are going away, we understand. When we are sick and fall very in a difficult situation, then we feel. But normal time we don't feel about it. It is days are going away. Days are going away, good. I ate well, I slept well, I did this, I did that. So this mantra speaks of the necessity for constant and vigorous practice or abhyasa. Abhyasa means practice, which, according to Patanjali, forms, along with vairagya, renunciation, the most necessary requisites for success in yoga. You know, yoga, two things are necessary. Abhyasa Vairagabhyam Tan Nirodha. There is a aphorism in the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. It says Abhyasa Vairagabhyam both Tan Nirodha. Abhyas means practice, repeated practice, withdrawing the mind from outside, targeting into the inner self, take help of your mind and all the senses. Focus. Abhyas. You cannot do that. Runs away, bring it back again. Again it goes away. Again bring it away. Abhyas. And renunciation. Renunciation means analyze where the mind is going. Teach the mind. Why are you going here? It's not that good. You have tasted that before. You are not satisfied. Why are you going again? Be watchful, like a mother looking at the child. Hey, don't go that side. Hey, what are you going? Don't come back. Like that, mothering our own mind. And to bring it back, abhyasa vairagya. And detaching. Don't go there. It is not good for you. This is good, better, come here. So that to train the mind that way, abhyasa and vairagyabhyam tan nirodha. This is to be nirodha. Nirodha means the control of the mind, perfect pacification of the mind. Mind will be calm and serene, where the inner light will shine forth. Because of the ripple, we don't see the light effulgent. No, in a rippled lake, if you sit near, this full moon night may be reflected there, but you don't see the moon at all because it's broken so much. No, but when it's calm and serene, you can see the full blaze of the light reflected inside. So similarly, when the mind will be tan, means the mind should be nirodha, tan nirodha. And the distractions of the mind should be may calm down. So, so that is the implication of the first two verses, that we are to pray to the divine through some symbology, and sun is the best symbology in ancient times. Sun and fire, these are the two ancient gods, very ancient, because people saw the sun every day, and the fire protected them. Fire gave them the life force. So this worship is done. That's why so much homo fire in the whole Vedic rituals you'll find the jagna. And then that is the to pray to that divine light and pray for controlling the mind and the senses, pulled out, which finds joy in the external world, is only reflection, is a little touch of joy. But in here is the source of joy. But turning from that side, the source of this joy is outside, to turn it here and move on, and abhyasa vairagya, to practice, sincerely practice and pray. Sincerely practice and pray. See how it is practical, no? Huh? We will think lofty thoughts undoubtedly, but at the same time be really serious on practice. And practice will not be successful unless the idea of detachment comes, idea of renunciation comes. These are, we live in the life. Things will come in life. We will be serious sometimes. But we need to detach, because it is a fleeting world, impermanent world, and momentarily everything is changing. Every second it is changing. The environment is changing. All our visible universe is changing. I am changing. So in this middle of all these changes, focus should be given to the unchanging, supreme self, which is called our Atman. And withdrawing the mind from external, it's a practice. It takes long time. That's why Vedanta gives the Udhikari. Udhikari means who is the competent student of Vedanta. Look at that. Swami Vivekananda is a perfect student. He has no least attraction for anything of the world. He was born in a wealthy family, enjoyed life, what is there. He has seen and he's seen the entire, whatever world can give, he has it in his within reason. But he is born with a talent that it didn't attract him. He was searching for truth, going to door asking, have you seen God? Have you seen God? Have you seen God? No. and then came to Ramakrishna. See, earnestly seeking, sincere seeking, not satisfied with the existing or money, wealth, name, fame, position, all this. He has already born with that, so much luxury and other things, but it does not satisfy him. So he was sincere seekers of truth, and then seeking, and came to Ramakrishna. And see what a transformation instantly happened. So Udhikari means a competent student. A student should be competent. We have to make ourselves competent by this. How to be competent student? By this way. If one is sincere, then practice, analyze, practice, and pray. Three things: analyze, practice, and pray. Analysis is a fundamental thing. If you don't do the analysis, mistakes are possible. And mistaken idea will be taken into our idea that that is the correct thing. Mistaken thing can be taken as a wrongly as the truth. Therefore, that is important, one point. And second point will be that we should have to continuously do practice and detach and detach and detach and detach. Detach from the external, attached to the internal. That should be continuously practiced. So I think we can end here. If you have any question anyone has put, or you can put some question.
One question. Regarding light as a fire.
And light and the
light like pure consciousness, but the fire is like waking consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then
waking, not that waking does not mean that illumination. Here it means during daytime. I am aware of you. By what light? What consciousness? That they are talking about. It is a reflected consciousness. Even our dream time awareness, what we are in our dream, what we experience. That there is a consciousness, and we say that I had a last night dream, and when I am dreaming, I see the dream is so real. So there is some consciousness, but this is not the real consciousness; it is a reflected consciousness. And then that to understand, I am seeing the dream. There is some consciousness behind, whose light is falling on the dream and saying that I am seeing dream. No, that means go back one step, waking state, to go to the second step into the dream state. Dream state is our mind. Meditation state is also dream state. When we meditate, we deal with our mind, no? And mind makes this picture, that picture, that picture. Is it not? No external, I am not seeing physically with the eyes. My ears may not hear outside thing, but my mind is engaged and taking me to here. That is like a dream. But with your consciousness, awareness. But sleep time, when you go to bed, we dream, but we are not aware that I am doing something. Now, if you go one step down, that is the deep sleep state, that is the state also reflected. Because you say, I dreamed, I was there, dreaming was there. There is some light behind to know that I was sleeping. You say, I slept. How do you say? I slept, but I do not know. I do not know that I slept. To understand, that's a knowledge, is it not? I do not know is not a knowledge. I know is a knowledge. I do not know is a knowledge, is it not? Negative knowledge. So one is I know is knowledge, I do not know is knowledge. One is of light, another of darkness. No? But somebody needs to be behind it to illumine. Otherwise, I do know that I do not know. So it's a logical thing. In a back calculation, in math, we can go to the back calculation. So this is the point, that we know that internal light is there, to go back to that source. And I am trying, sincerely trying. Oh Lord, please help me. It's a very good combination of ideas of devotion, jnana, bhakti mixed together.
I have a question.
Yes.
So can you go back to the source while you're still in a body and you're playing your role in Maya? So like we all meditate, we all focus on the all one, and we want that, and we know that when we drop the body, you can return to the source. But it seems like the scriptures are pointing to there are beings who realize the all one and still play in Maya. Is that true? Is that the goal? Or is the goal to return to the all one only when you drop the body and stop playing?
No, in the drop, it is like dropping the body itself when you are in samadhi. You have no body consciousness.
Okay. But not like when you're driving.
But when you're coming down from that level, you see the duality.
Yeah.
But that duality does not block you.
It
That
doesn't block
duality,
you.
see that it's God is in different form.
So you can still play in Maya and be connected to the all
Yeah,
one.
Maya does not veil for them. Maya, for us, Maya is blocking.
Uh-huh.
And Maya, for that person, Maya opens the door.
Okay.
So she can see you as a person, at the same time, no, you are made of God.
Mm. So they function like us, but
Us.
they see differently.
Right.
Perfect. Thank
Yeah. See Buddha, see Christ, see Ramakrishna. They see two things together.
you. And they still had all the troubles of life too.
But they don't feel like us
Yeah.
because they know this is a fake play.
Okay. All right. That's clear. Thank you.
If you, in essence, if you're getting closer and closer to the light, to the sense of being in pure consciousness in samadhi, that fire, the sense of heat that you're getting, that starts to burn away the ego.
Fire will be there, and you can feel the heat also. That you feel that it is made of Satchidananda, Ananda. And the Ramakrishna gave the example of the wax museum. He said he gave an example of the garden, a garden made of wax garden. Wax garden means what? There is a tree, there is a bench, there is a man sitting on that, there is a grass. But grass is grass, but wax. Grass is grass plus wax. Grass is the tree plus wax. Man is the man plus wax. They see the wax also, but we see the only man form, not the wax form. That life is very joyful. There is the one wonderful joyful, because you see the same joy everywhere. Only names and forms are different. But today no online, no question.
There's online question.
Yeah, no question.
What's that?
No, number of them.
Give. Om Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ram Krishna Panamastu. So we'll read the third verse, second chapter, third verse next time. And now, some question is coming. Is it the capacity of knowledge, light, which joins testing and tongue into one? Ignorance causes us to believe these things are spread out and divided. I cannot physically see this. God will help me. Oh, the capacity of knowledge, that means the light, which joins testing and tongue into one. Yes, without consciousness, nothing can happen. Without the heat in the oven, huh, your soup preparation will not be done. Neither your rice will be boiled, nor the vegetables can be cooked. Whatever it is, all fire fire is interpreted into every pore of the creation. As is the example in a cooking vessel, when we take it, the heat percolates through every bit of rice, water, that means consciousness permeates everywhere. Without consciousness, my tongue cannot taste. Because tongue tasting The brain helping, these are physical things. But behind that is the mind. Mind is not lively thing. Mind is not lively because mind is also needs some light. Mind is jara, matter. That's why mind can be, people can become mad. People can be made angry. People can be made pleasing by sweet words, by strong words. That means I can play on your mind. Everyone can play the mind of others. So mind is also, that's why it's called jara, matter. But behind the mind there should be something to make the mind lighted. As I am very hard, I am wounded in your word. How can you be wounded? Matter cannot do that unless there is some consciousness. So consciousness percolates to the from your ego to your intellect, to your mind, to your prana, energy, and your physical body. And without that, no awareness is possible. So, yes, it is ignorance causes us to believe these things are spread out and divided. It seems it is divided, but everywhere the consciousness permeates. Mhm. And God will help you, of course, help us. Swami Vivekananda mentioned that highest love for God can never be achieved without renunciation. How can we increase our spirit of renunciation day by day? This is the practice, what the scripts, Upanishad is teaching us. Every day intensify your practice. Intensifying the practice itself is renunciation. Why? If you practice that, I will have to go to the, say, Hollywood Boulevard. Okay. So you put one step towards that, you are closer to one step and renouncing one step that side. You go two step, three step, four step, you increase your steps. You are renouncing this side. That is called natural renunciation. Some people think renunciation is a very painful thing. No, no, no. Renunciation is a joyful thing. Because renouncing means you have to, oh my God, I have to give up. You have to, that means you are attached to that so much, your God is less attractive than this. But if one knows that God is the source of all joy, and I am running towards Him to giving up minor, petty things. I am giving up $10 to get $1 million. Is it foolishness? God realization, if you consider the $1 million, $1 billion, and what in which we live every day, it is $5, $10 business. And we are happy with that. But moving towards that $1 million, $1 billion is a renunciation, or it is your selfishness. You are getting more greedy for higher joy. Giving up lower thing, you are going for higher. Everyone goes in that way. So why renunciation should be a very painful thing? Renunciation becomes painful because we love this more than God. In our mind is not clarity yet that there is a mine of joy, and what I am tasting is a speck of dust like joy, and followed by so much suffering and pain. And that is the infinite joy without any reaction, anything, non-reactional. If I know that, Ramakrishna Swamiji said, suppose there is a next room, I am a thief, real thief, genuine thief, and there I know that there is a treasure in this room. But it is guarded so many ways. What shall I do? And if somebody says, hey, you are come here, you sleep here near the door, and here is the gem. Being a thief, can I sleep all night? If I am a thief, I cannot sleep. I'll think how to enter and get that gem. Because I'm a thief. So if we are in spiritual life, become like a thief. For God's treasures. You cannot sleep well. That's why the sadhus, the holy people, meditate whole night. These are all has significance. And even bhaktas, those who love God, they do that prayer. They pray a whole night, they do something everywhere, no? So that's why understand renunciation is a joyful thing. If it becomes painful, then it is not renunciation. It is not renunciation. Renunciation is a cheerful joy. I'm free from all bondage. Wow, what a great achievement in my life. Eh? I'm searching for $1 billion. And one step, you run, this is renounced, this is renounced, this is renounced. Renunciation becomes spontaneous. By forceful renunciation is not renunciation. Eh? So, yes, God cannot be realized without renunciation means really true. We cannot realize God unless we have total detachment for lower things. Two things cannot go side by side. You cannot put one leg here and one leg in Hollywood Boulevard. Your leg is not that big. Huh? So you will have to make every day step by step journey. The step by step practice of meditation, prayer, and every day surrendering to God and asking for the grace and making stronger effort to my action, to my meditation, to my prayer, to whatever the life I live, to that connecting with God is called renunciation. And
But
yes,
Sri Ramakrishna said that you can do it step by step. It happens at one shot. That he
No.
told that the story of that man.
no.
That he just took the towel in his shoulder and said that this is renunciation. I'm done.
What you are seeing the last stroke. Suppose I am moving from here to Hollywood Boulevard, I gave the example. And I am only one step from that. The last moment I see the Hollywood Boulevard. So much internal work has been done by him. You are seeing only one story. That one day he heard something and it is like removing the veil. He has done
No,
many,
not
many.
hard. That his wife said that that other man is such a great. Today he gave up one wife.
That
Tomorrow
also.
he gave up house and like that. Then he said that renunciation cannot be done in
Right.
that way. How it happened, and then he left.
But that he's prepared for that. His mind is prepared for that. That is true renunciation. But that he has his much spiritual work has been done by that person. We do not see, we do not know their sanskaras, the inherent tendencies, what is there, no? Suppose we are maybe a marathon race, no? How many people are running? They start running and they're all going towards the goal. Huh? But there is a point. Someone is how far ahead, someone is how far behind. That both will be renouncing the old place, say gone for say 10 mile or 24 race, no? So someone may be one mile, someone may be 2 miles, no? Someone may be 5 miles. So that is the question. Who is prepared more? They spontaneously you see the last stage, you do not see what he has done before. So karma theory comes there. So how can we increase our spirit of renunciation? That is the thing that we are always, all the scripture are talking. How to increase renunciation? Love God. Simple formula. Love God, naturally this renunciation will happen. And also understand the other thing is not permanent. Whatever I like, whatever I see, whatever I feel, these are only momentary things, giving an apparent illusion of a momentary joy, but it is not permanent. Only God is permanent. So this analysis and this practice, what we read today, that will be practice. Another question, analysis, I think I can do. But can continuous prayer replace continuous prayers practice? Why to replace? Do your prayer when you can and do your meditation practice when you can. Don't make a rigid rule of that. Our life is different nowadays. Some you have to go to work and you have to do so many duties. So when you get the chance, you are in the middle of work, you can internally pray. When you are getting time, sit quietly with your Lord privately. And when you are doing His work, think, oh Lord, I am doing your work. So try to connect with Him all the time, and therefore you are not to replace anything, but in various ways to reach God. Our life should be such orchestrated that through prayer, through analysis, discrimination, through devotion, through meditation, through karma, go and reach the same destination. That's why Swamiji said, my children will be, just this time we'll be talking about the highest philosophy of non-dual truth. Next moment they will go to the garden and do the garden work and bring out all the vegetables and go to the shopping place to sell them. And then now come to do some philosophical class. Now can do the cooking, cleaning, and all work leading to the same destination. So that should be the best prayer. 24 hours then can be utilized as God, spiritual life. Otherwise, our spiritual life becomes very limited. When we sit in that temple, that is my spiritual life, half an hour or 1 hour or 1.5 hours. But that time also, 90% of the time I'm roaming in my market, shopping place, and all. So therefore, it is 24 hours spiritual practice. We can do that. Thank you all. Jai Ma. Tomorrow we will have our gospel class. Amar ache. Mahajogananda Swami will be giving the gospel class. Thank you. Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.